Okay, look at these succulents. It's crazy. These are a type of ice plant. You can see. Oh, the wind is probably pretty bad. Let me try and protect it a little bit. But look, this is the only angle that I'm going to be able to show you this good shot. So sorry about the wind. This might just be another musical beach one. Try and climb out here. I wanted to show you this little cave too. I don't know, something in it is like telling me that it's old shelter and we're just not seeing it. Look at that. So the ocean's on the other side and this faces this little bay. Doesn't that look like the perfect shelter spot? Oh, no way. No way. Okay, we can go up there because you're not walking on the succulents. You don't want to walk on this stuff. You could crush it and kill it. But we'll go ahead and stomp down the thistles a little bit. Now here's something, you guys. This is a really big deal too. Two things. Through the ground. You see that? It's two things. It's black from fire and it is solid shell waste. So this is definitely a shell mound. I'm going to go ahead and call this an Indian shelter site right now. And I'll just put that on my name because you don't get this much shell in activity like that. That's what it is. Look at that. So not only the amount of shells, this is from them sitting here processing them. So they had all this down below to gather from. But this shelter is actually based here. It looks like they may have manipulated it also. Look at the ground. Okay, and you can look around and the rest of this dirt and stuff around here will just be cow farm and all that. So this heap spilling out of here is literally their tailings piles. And I see that there's a fence here that's degraded and broken down, but look at the stuff here, and then can you see? It actually goes through to the other side. Isn't that cool? Look at that. So at one point this thing was a solid like cave shelter spot and you're just totally out of the wind. And yeah, it's just got the vibe. I was walking up here because it looks like the shelter site, but I mean you can see this is human debris just from eating and eating and eating and eating and eating. Unless it's an aminal, but aminals don't stain the earth. See, I see that there was a fence here at one time that must have been trying to block people out or something. Maybe hold the soil to keep it from slipping out so people couldn't see there was a cave there. But yeah, look at this, look at the black earth here. This is a good example. I hope that's showing up. And that's generally from having fires and fires and fires, and that stirs in with the soil. Plus there's going to be larger animal bone. I'm not going to pick through this. I'm going to treat this like a site. I just wanted to show you the cool cave that was faced the right way out here on the coast where there would be great hunting and foraging and everything to be a shelter site. I didn't expect that when I walked up here they would literally be heaped. I mean, you can see this is literally heaped material. See, that's in the Amazon they call this oh, I forget the name of it, but that's how they're finding sites and stuff. Ooh, look, really old bullet. Maybe not really old. Don't let my stupidity on some things fool you on my knowledge on others. I do a lot of guessing, but this is pretty obvious. I mean, you can see the black. And any of you that have worked these sites or been near these sites, you know that same black. It's half carbon ash from multiple fires. 10,000 years of a fire spot moving around. You get this in campgrounds after only 50 years of use. And then that's just, it just goes down and down and down and down and down. And if you took this and gridded it off and sifted it down, you'd find all the tools and stuff throughout here to verify it. And they might actually know about this. You know, sometimes they're known and they're just waiting for research, but you can see it spills all the way out down to the road and stuff. And I can show you another spot. Going away from this black, let's walk right down here. Okay, so here's just a flat area next to the same rock. Look at the dirt. It's brown. Okay, show you so it doesn't, it's not going to stain my hand. This is just good field dirt. See that? Nothing there. Okay, I still have the black from the other stuff stuck to this hand. And you know what's gone? Shells. Okay, you can walk down here and do the same thing. It's just black dirt, and look how close we are to the cave, whereas that is a solid, sorry about the wind, solid shell debris spilling out there. So that's pretty obvious of what that is. It was probably way lower down, and they literally filled it up with their debris over time. And you see the little cove they had to work. Pretty awesome. Okay, so there's a detail. You were there with me for that. And you know, you never know. The stuff that's in there could be so important, because this is the coastal corridor which the earliest settlers of this continent, no matter who they were and when they were, would have been utilizing for food and shelter to move down from however they got across. So these sites, no matter where they are, the tip of Africa or wherever, tend to be some of the most important. Look where we are right next to it. Here's a whole exposure of the soil. What you won't see is any shells. So you know those shells were gathered up and brought there, right? I hope you understand that. Here's a full soil profile. Stay tuned. There's more to come, and you never know what we're going to discover on the quest for details. Flowers. Look at that fortress of a complex. The wind is just ripping, but with the whales that we've seen come in here today and just the calm flat of it, the anchorage points down below where the big ships could come in, that really cool. Now this time of day when the wind's ripping, you can see how virtuous that is. Just an awesome complex. On this road goes in a circle around the stone and then comes right back here. This is all ice plant. There's the road doubling back, and that's literally the edge of the land. And that's literally the edge of the land right over there. Just this road. It's pretty much sheer cliffs all around this thing. This little hump of rock with the cave that goes through the center. The shell mound in front of it. And yeah, just once again, here's the dirt everywhere else around here, just plain dirt. You can see the gopher holes. Plain dirt, no shells. The only place where they are is in the mouth of that cave, heaped up with black earth. Right off of a cove. There's the whole coast coming up. Chunk of land that sticks up. Here's the wind. And then the coast continuing on off in the foggy distance up above. Awesome. I think that's my favorite thing. It's hard to find an Indian camp at the coast. Things are so cool. Take one last look at it. It's covered in lichen, and you can just see it. Its profile shaved and carved. And look, there's like almost a pathway up to the top of it. It occurred to me I hadn't gotten the view or come up to look at any of the other details of it. You can see what a little chunk of rock it actually is. It's just a knoll sticking up here, but so is this whole thing. I mean, there's the point of it. Wow. Is that yet another cave? I mean, this whole thing. Wow, do you see the shells down there again? So this whole thing is a complex that they burrowed into. I don't mean to say that like burrowed, like primitive. I mean, look at what it is. I mean, it's awesome. So this is actually around on the backside, and I'm dropping down out of the wind. Oh, okay. And if you look at the rock here, do you see this? You get the far back view. So for those of you who know and are educated in this, that's fire marks. Now this can be from modern, but those are also pretty old people. So that's a lot of fire mark, and I'm sure there's a way to tell. See the mineralization leaching out on top of the black. But that's fire mark. That's from where the fire goes over and over and over. You can actually see the red burnt rock of it, where it goes and where it heats that. And then this here is just all an Indian site, a Native American site. There it is facing out. Here's the rock wall. We're gonna go ahead and walk around this whole thing because you can see it's just like flint stones or something. This is just a series of little cathedrals carved into this, each one of them windproof and just absolutely layered. This one doesn't have as much shell, but there is shell presence here. And then once again, you see the black. You see, you can look along this whole thing. There's actually black marks there too, but definitely there. There's a spot. Let's go back to that other one. This is just awesome too. Look at this thing. I mean, we're surrounded. We're out on the point. It's absolutely surreal, and you're with me. I'm glad that we walked back over here. You see the ground is just covered in ashes, and then look, this is the path where people have walked up. But look at that. Not ashes, shells. Look at that. Oysters too. There's no oysters around here anymore, not like this, not stuck to the rocks. And once again, it's that black dirt, and it just goes off under all of this in all directions. I mean, it's heaped up. Look. Oh, I got the sniffles, but so lots of spider webs. We're gonna go ahead and clear a couple out. And there's no signs. Nobody has realized what this is, but this is probably way built up. But do you see what you're looking at? So this is black. That's fallen off. But look. Scared me. I thought I heard a rattlesnake. There shouldn't be one out here. There's going to be all kinds of artifacts and cool things down in here. I'm not going to dig them, but they are here, and everything is touched. So you really don't get sites like this. Look, bird bones. So everything that they ate could be researched and represented here. So if anybody is a researcher, I hope that you get out here. Because look, there's nobody to stop that. You see that? So, I assure you I'm not going to turn the camera off and loot. Oh, look at the black dirt there. I don't know if you can tell, but it is just black and it's deep. And that's super exciting. That is super exciting. Look at that. There's everything in here, including huge spiders. But yeah, the floor of this was much lower, and once again, it's just a mound of material. And just pure shells. Pure shells. That's awesome. So, This is all flat. There's a continental shelf basically where this land used to go out to the far land mass there. It just drops off, that's why the whales were in, but this is all navigatable. There's actually kayakers camping down on the beach right now because it's a good location for it. But yeah, look at that. That is a home. It's a home site. It's a mitten pile. Look at the black. Look at the mound. Okay, and then the amount of artifacts that would be in there and stuff. The black fire marks at the tallest part. It's like a chimney. Oh, I'm buzzing. That's awesome. See the actual little separate chambers back there. Let's finish walking around. Let's take our tour of the complex. I've never found a stone complex. This is really rare. You know, usually don't find a bunch of caves all carved in. But this point is kind of rare and the location is kind of rare. These flowers, you guys. You see this? I think we came at the right time. There's that next little alcove, the other one right around the point, the other one on the other side. This one goes through, believe it or not. But all of them, see how the wind is on us? All of them are angled to where you're actually in them. It cuts away like that. And then you can imagine that they ran all over the top of this thing. So for people to round it off, they were. Look at the ground around it. I can't stress enough what that means. There's shell mounds in Oakland. They have named the Shell Mound District. Do you see that? That's just black soil and shell mounds coming off of this whole thing. Pathways are lined in it. God. Here's the other side of the other cave. The weird fencing. Fencing was probably there because I see it's laid on its side. That's to keep people from digging down looking for artifacts and deepening this out and all that. Look at the black marks. Do you see them again? They're all over here where the fire lips out. That's what regular rock looks like. See how it's just brown? And then can you see where the fires have occurred? And of course there's modern graffiti, but these went back and down. That went all the way through. So this was like a cave. There's where the other ones are. I have to think that this was brought in on this side. This material looks totally different, and it actually doesn't even look like really like beach material. And there's all this stuff laid down, so I could almost see them like burying a site here. On purpose, knowing what it was, just to keep it safe in a way. Yeah, pretty awesome, huh? Okay, let's keep walking around this thing. Oh. And you know what? This much of this stuff might be out here because people got in here and were digging it out, you know. Found a couple of spear tips like crazy, and then the locals knew about it. You see it all over the ground. So they may have actually no stop and done that. And sometimes what happens is it's easier for them to know about a site and journal it and not try and keep a constant watchman out here and hope that most people walk by this and don't realize what it is. But come on. That's one of California's, North America's probably earliest sites. I bet you if you dig down in here, when somebody finally does, they're going to discover stuff like they do on the south tip of South America and stuff, you know. But South Africa. It's a lot like their sites, and this is just all debris. Look at that. Okay, let's keep going around it. This is a regular soil profile. Pretty crazy, huh? So let's walk on top of their fortress here. Look at the flat roundness of this. You can see them sitting up here waiting for the the whales to come through. Survey marker, so that hasn't moved much. Oh, even here. Even here. Every little windlass niche on this. And you know where we are. We're right above that. Look. Thank you for coming with me and exploring this. This is really awesome. I think this is, to me, finding things like this. Look at the black. This is oil. The black stain on my finger. That's what I mean. They call it terra preta in the Amazon, I believe. And that's how they find these sites, because it's so deep. That's the one that goes through. Not perfect, right? Okay. And one more out to the point to look at these. To get this documented, there's another survey marker. Let's go ahead and get that on there. Okay. Even this, a little flat, you can see it's flattened out with the back to it. I feel like they probably even had a hand in shaping it, you know, to fit purposes perfectly. Here's the top of the other two. One goes out to a point, and goes into another point, and walk down the ridge line here in between them, as I'm sure has been done for eons. Oh, what's that? Look, treasure. It's somebody's, hang on, somebody's turtle. We're gonna leave turtle charm right here where it broke off their ankle, where they put it. We're gonna jump across the ice plant. Look at that. Apartment 1, apartment 2. Coastal view. Room for entire families. Oh, that's just super cool. I'm a happy camper. And yeah, on the front of this, where all this activity is going on the least windiest side, it's just shells all the way out to the edge here. And black dirt. And then looks like by here we're getting into regular brown dirt. But you can see that's what each one of those was a little home site. I'm sure it would take you about 30 seconds with the sifter to come out and prove that that's all real. In case you don't understand what you're looking at anyway. I'm sure a lot of you do. Yeah. Okay, I gotta go home. This could have been connected under there at one time. There's that one, there's the whole complex. This is probably the best view of all three. And you can see the earth that's mounded up in front of them is actually their mitten. Those are those piles that we're looking at of just shells and stuff. And otherwise, you know, those are pretty deep things. And then there's black marks on all the rocks there too. I know I got that detail, but you can see them even from back here where it was the fire was venting out of them. But basically the flat would have been there, and that whole mound is just built up.